Hello coders, welcome to another tutorial video, and in today's video we are looking at Python variables. Now when we say Python variables are used to store data in values. In Python, a variable is created when you assign a value to it. So we use variables to temporarily store data in computers. So for example, I can store the age of 50 to a variable label age. So now in my computer memory, if I want to access this age of 50, I can use the label age to access it. Or also we can also store the name Gideons in the variable name. So these are variables assigned to name and age. Now I can print these two variables. If I want to print my age, now I have to print the age. If I print the age like this, now this is going to print the keyword age. So let me run this and see. If I run this, realize that this is printing the keyword age. Now to print variables, we call the variables without the double quotes in the print. So if I want to print age, I can print the age directly. So if I play, now the age is printing 50 for me. Same as if I want to print the name, I don't have to add a quote. All I have to do is call the label name. Then it will also print the label name for me. So now let's look at naming variables. Now variables names must start with a letter and they must not start with a number. So for example, I can have a variable name A5. Now, I cannot have a variable name like 5A. Now, this in Python is not allowed. So you can see this is underlined for me. So we cannot name a variable like this. If we want to name a variable that has multiple names, so for example, if I want to name a variable that is first name, let's say Sen. Now, even though this is right, but this is hard to read. So that's why it's important to always separate long names with underscores. So for example, I can separate this name with underscore. So this makes it easier readable. So if I say first name, if it's 3-letter words, I can add another 3-letter words. So let's say if it's first name variable, I can also have something like this. So long names are best separated with underscores to also make it easier readable. So now this is some of the ways we can name a variables. And another thing you should also notice that now I can also have a variable age. So let me remove this. I can have age is equal to 40. Then I can also have age is equal to, is assigned to 30, sorry. Then finally I can have age assigned to 10. Now, what you should notice is that these three variables are different. In Python, variable names are case sensitive. So Python says this as 3 different variables assigned. So for example, let's print all of them and see. So if I print age, it's giving me 40. Now let's print age with the uppercase A and C. Now this is giving me 30 as well, which is, you can see 30 is assigned with the uppercase. Now if I also print age with all uppercase, this is also giving me 10. So in Python, variable names are case sensitive, which is why these 3 each are different variables, even though they all have the same spelling. So you can also specify the data type of a variable. So let's say take this off. I have a variable A, variable B, variable C. So I can assign this. So let's say I'll assign this to string of 8. And now let's take this. So now this will be integer. So integer, we can have int. Then finally we'll have a float here. So we'll have a float. So now let's print all these 3 characters. So these 3 variables I will print A, I'll print B, then I'll print C. So if I run this now, you can see we have the A as a string, we have the B converted to an integer, and the C converted to a float. If you want to know the type of variable, you can also use the type function. So for example, I can have type of this. I can also have type of this. Then finally, I can also have the type of this as well. So now this determines the type of A, the type of B, what type is C. So let's also run this. So now, you can see it's telling me the first one is, second one is integer, third one is float as well. So now, in Python, we also have special type of value called a Boolean value, which can be either true or false. So let me take this off. Now, I can assign is active to true. And this can also be false. So I can also bring this to false. So as we said earlier, in Python, values are case sensitive. So you can see the moment I added this, a lowercase, now it doesn't recognize this as a Boolean value. It recognizes this as a string, and we know a string must have a double quote around it. So this is the only way this can be right for Python. But if you want to have a Boolean value, it means this must have a false, either a false or is not active. So, okay, let's use this as true, a true or false. Now, finally, we can also assign variables and also perform arithmetics on it. So, for example, let's say we have A is equal to 6. Now we have B is equal to 5. So, I can calculate this by say, maybe I can say product, and I can say A multiplied by B. So now I can print product. So let's run this. Let me clear this. Run this again. So this gives me the multiplication of A and B. So 6 by 5, which is 30. Now I can also print strings in addition with the arithmetic that we have here. So for example, I can say age also assigned to 24. Now I can say print, let's say print I am dash years old. So we can have, so now these are two different strings. So we can put this age in between. So we can add a plus. Then we'll say age. Also we can add another plus. Now, because this is an integer, now we also have to convert this with an integer, because we said we can also convert, can also determine the type by using the int value, because this is an int string, because both of these are strings. So we must also convert this, which is an integer, to a string. So I'm going to save this and I'll print this. So we can see now we have I am 24 years old. So in place of this, we can also add a space. Now let's print this again. You can see we have I am 24 years old. So if you look at the first one, this, you can see there's no space between the am and the 24. And the second one, there's also space between the am and the 24, which is the space that we specify there. So now a quick exercise. Declare 3 variables, A, B, and C. Assign the values 10, 5, and 2 to A, B, and C respectively. Now 3. Perform the following operations and print the results. Addition of A and B, subtraction of C from A, multiplication of A and C, division of A by B. So you can share your answer in the comment section, so everyone can also look at it. So thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and also share this video. Also subscribe if you want more of this video. Thank you. See you in another video.